Greetings, welcome back to CS295. We're still in week 3. This is the last lesson. We're going to go over super globals. Now, in this lesson, we're not going to go over everything, and again, hopefully kind of watch the videos to talk a little bit about it. Mostly, we're going to focus on this one, but overall, we're going to just kind of talk about what they are. And as the name implies, they are super globals, so they're essentially like server globals. For example, this gives you information about the server. These two we'll actually spend a whole bunch of time next week going over, but those are how you send data to the server, essentially, right? And then the last two are mechanisms for the server to kind of track you, right? And again, we'll go into details about each of these later when we go into, but again, processing from the server, and then you can create your own, and then there's the files one. But we'll focus mostly on the server one, but the point of all of this, right, all of the global, super globals, is the fact that you can get them and they all mean something, right? And they all pretty much work the same way as well. So when we look at this code here, right, and this is what we're really focusing on, is this piece right there, $_server, and you'll see that that's kind of how they all work, right? So when we actually go to use the post later on, the get, it's exactly the same way. We use session at the end of all of this to use server, $_, and then bracket notation. And essentially, what goes in here is whatever, again, these are essentially lists. I mean, it's slightly more complicated than that, but again, essentially a list. And then this is that list item. Again, it's not actually a list any more than when you, in JavaScript, grab all the LIs or paragraphs or class, right? It's a list-like object. But again, so this is from the server, grab the server software. From the server, grab the host. And when we go into post and get and session and cookie, right, you'll still have that. It'll still say post. It'll just be, this will be the name of the post, the get that you specifically are trying to get, right? So it's, again, retrieving this. And again, the post is just a list-like object that has all of the post items in it by name, and then whatever their thing is, right? So this is the name, and then it'll have all the pieces that go with it. So hey, I'm not going to copy all of this. We'll do a quick thing so you just can kind of see what it looks like when you run it. But if you just Google super globals, go to W3 schools, I mean, you can see all the different things. And again, servers, you can just see all the different things when you run it. And again, remember, this is their server, right? So this is W3 school's server, right? Their PHP self, the actual IP address, its full domain name, right? Its user agent, script name. So it has all of this. So let's go ahead. We're just going to grab the software so we can see what 00 web host is working with. And I'll just paste that in there, save it. So all I did was copy the index one to do this. So call it super globals. That's one of them. You can try a bunch more of these out yourself to see what server yours is. But if you're having 00 web host, it'll look pretty much similar to this, right? So Apache is what it's running. And we can go through and see all of that, what it's running as well, if we wanted to copy that line of code, server software. Apparently I'm not allowed to, oh, that probably makes sense. Oh, I guess W3 School doesn't let you change the PHP. That's fair. Alright, so, but again, you can see the different things that it has. So if you need to find them, there's a bunch of them, the descriptions. In fact, I might just add this link to this page for everybody if it's not already there. Yep. But that's it, right? This is just an introduction to them. We'll be using these super globals a lot more next week and then later, and explain exactly how they work. But the point is, all of them pretty much look like this. It's whatever the super global name is, and then it accesses all of them by whatever the name is, and then it references its value. So, right, it has a name, ID, and a value. That's it. That's all I have for this one. We'll see you next week.